Hey guys, it's Neil and Helen from Milton Keynes Fit Body Bootcamp. Welcome to Your Questions Are Answers, and this is something new that we're doing as part of our mission to help 5,000 Milton Keynes residents by 2015 get into great shape. So we have a question.
We do indeed. We had an email today from one of our members. Now this person didn't want to be mentioned, so I won't mention any names, but here's the email that we received. I've been attending FBBC for 5 weeks now and love the sessions. I already feel fitter and stronger than I have in years, and from my first assessment have lost 7 pounds of fat and gained 1 pound of lean muscle, which I'm over the moon about. My question is this. I know it is more important to know food sources such as protein and carbs, etc. But should I also be counting calories?
Aha, the old calorie question. So firstly, well done. We know who you are, so that's fantastic results. What was that? Seven? Was that seven?
7 pounds.
7 pounds of body fat, gaining
1 pound of lean muscle.
1 pound of lean muscle. So it shows that you are getting it right, because if you have got them results, it means that you are getting the right amount of protein to hold on to the muscle, and you're doing the required work and the required nutrition stuff to lose the body fat. So fantastic results and well done. First of all, but to answer your question, it is a complicated one, so this may take a few minutes. The real answer is yes and no. The weight loss industry for years and years and years have promoted calorie counting as the be all and the end all for weight loss, and it simply isn't as simple as that. You have to also factor in a few other things. Now, they are your food sources, so you're right. They protein, carbohydrates, and fat intake is more important. But again, saying that, if you are massively overshooting your calorific needs per day, you will gain weight too. So, yes and no. You don't need to, as you are definitely getting it right. But if you want to track your calories, we will give you some tools and give you a simple formula that you can follow just to make sure you're not overshooting that. But first of all, Helen, do you want to share with them the hands, how they can do the hands?
So if you're not someone that likes to sort of like track every single calorie that comes in and goes out, which can be a little bit tedious and time consuming, then there's a really quick, simple way that you can measure out your macronutrients. And by macronutrients, we're talking about proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So I think Neil mentioned protein is probably the most important macronutrient if you're looking to lose body fat and gain lean muscle. And your protein should roughly be the size of the palm of your hand. So that would be sort of a small chicken breast, or the equivalent in whatever sort of source of protein that you're eating.
And guys, you can double that too, so feel free to have, because as guys, we have more testosterone. That's your phone there going off.
Busy.
So you can have a little bit more protein.
Yeah. Secondly, carbohydrates. If you close your fist and take the top part of your fist there, where your fingers curl around, that should be the size of the carbohydrate. So that would be sort of a small jacket potato, sweet potato, that amount of whole grain rice, whatever your carb source, oats, anything like that, the top of your fist. And then for your good healthy fats, if you take both thumbs and put them together, the size of that square there, that's roughly how much healthy fats you should be eating per meal. So this is spread across the day in your small manageable meals. So your protein, carbs, and fats.
And if you stick to that guideline, all of your food will fit onto a smaller plate. And if you're eating 4 to 6 small mini meals per day, you won't be overshooting your calories. Our hands roughly do tell us how we should eat. It's going back to that whole weird measurement system we have going on with our body, like this is the size of your foot and so on. It just seems that way that we can judge our portion sizes by our hands too. But that being said, if you do want to take a bit more, kind of log your calories and stuff, I suggest maybe you use an app if you have an iPhone. Something like MyFitness app is good to record your calories. But bear in mind, the recommended daily intake there is a little bit off. It's set by the weight loss industry, and it's designed more towards weight loss as opposed to fat loss, which there's a massive difference. So weight loss, you can lose muscle, water, and body fat, but to ensure that it works in your favour for just fat loss, you need to be having more protein. So here is a rough guide of how to do it, and we'll actually post of the formula down below in the video. That's your phone again.
I'm
It's
just
like
so in demand.
we are busy. So here is a rough guide. So as a way of working out your minimum calorific intake, like your baseline, the one to start with, take your pounds, how much you weigh in pounds, and times it by 12. So for example, if you weigh 10.5 stone, that would be 147 pounds. Times by 12, that would be, calculator on the computer, 1,764. So that would be your starting point. That's how many calories you'd want to shoot for in that day. And that's what we kind of call a baseline reference. So you would then start consuming that amount of calories. But in order to make sure you have your macronutrients correct, start off with 40% of them calories coming from proteins, 40% of them calories coming from carbohydrates, and 20% of them calories coming from fats. Now the way to work it out is there per gram. Protein has 4 calories, carbohydrates 4 calories, and fats have 9. So that's a really simple way of finding a baseline reference point and then working back to work out your macronutrient intake. So yeah, there's your answer, guys. So yes and no, it's one of them grey areas. It is important to know, but it's not vital. And I think in the weight loss industry, too much emphasis is placed upon calorific intake. There's a whole heap of other things going on in terms of fat loss. You know, it's hormone levels, it's training regime, it's so many different factors which affect how much body fat you lose. And my tip would be, if you was to pick 5 things to do, one would be to make sure, as well as obviously getting your calories and your macronutrients correct, one would be to make sure you train with resistance as well as doing the cardio. Because if you're just doing cardiovascular work, your body will eventually start to just hold on to that body fat because it perceives a famine. You know, if you're in a calorific deficit and you're doing lots of cardio, your body eventually will cotton on, and if it has the available muscle to burn off as energy as well without the muscle being stimulated, it will prioritize that too. But if you're working out with weights as well as doing the cardio like we do at Bootcamp, and your protein intakes are correct, your body will keep that muscle tone, keeping your metabolism high, and then your body will burn off fat. So that would be tip 1. Tip 2, I did write these down. So again, get your protein correct first. And 3, this is a key one now, guys. Have an accurate way of assessing your progress. If you are just looking at scales alone, how do you know if you're losing muscle, body fat, or water? Okay, the idea is to lose the fat, keep the muscle, and the water will fluctuate slightly. But if you don't have means to have a body diagnostic like we have at Bootcamp, where we can test your muscle, your water, your body fat, and your base metabolic rate, maybe pay a trainer for a session and ask him for a body composition test once a month, once every 2 months, just to make sure that you're not losing muscle and that you are in fact losing body fat. The 4th tip that I would give you to ensure you get good results is to, as well as having a large goal, have small goals every month, and this will ensure that you're making progress, because big goals seem far away, and if you think 6 months ahead, it seems like a long time and it doesn't create initial impetus. So break it down. Have a goal to achieve in 3 or 4 weeks' time, and that will give you the motivation to get there. Also, once you tick that goal off, your motivation will increase because you've seen progress and you'll be more motivated in month 2. And then the last tip I would give you would be to have a coach or to have a friend that you are going through this with as well, because you'll be able to pick each other up and motivate each other, should I say. But more importantly, it forms a level of accountability. So we all live busy lives, and if work gets in the way or family commitments. See, these are the neighbours' dogs. They're awesome dogs, by the way, but they're always barking. They're called Charlie and Betty, and they ran in here a few times before, which is fine. They're cool dogs. So Charlie and Betty, say hi. So what was I saying, Helen?
I've no idea. A friend, a coach, to
yes,
keep you accountable.
Yes. So That's key, because we all have busy lives, and if work, family commitments get in the way, we tend to put ourselves last. So workouts get skipped, nutrition then goes to pot, and before you know it, a week or two have slipped by, and you're just thinking, oh well, I'm too busy at the moment, the gym doesn't matter. But if you have a coach, a personal trainer, a friend to keep you accountable, they'll keep you on track. They'll hold you to the fire and say, look, no, this is important, and you do deserve it, so make the time. And there is 24 hours in every single day. I have been assured of that, and you can find 15, 20 minutes to work out. So that was your questions are answers on how to work out your calorific intake and if you need to or not. So do you have anything else to say, Helen?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so it's goodbye from me, Neil, goodbye from Helen, and also Charlie and Betty. Goodbye too. So until the next video, guys, see you soon. Please feel free to leave us a comment down below, and if you also want to ask a question and be featured in this, send your questions to coaching@mkfitbody.com, and we'll put a link to that below as well as the formulas. So that's all from us, guys. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.